Welcome, judges. We are Team Steve Jobs. My name is Alfonso Puma, and these are my colleagues.
I'm Isabel Easton.
Hi, I'm Urvi Dalla.
Hi, I'm Sean Smith.
So I just have a question for the audience and the judges today before I get started. How many, show of hands, have had a career change? Well, I can't see you, but for those who put your hands up, you know who you are. That's the situation we're dealing with our business partner and the business we are helping today. So the business we're helping is GB Clothing Design. This is our logo and our brand motto, which is trust the quality. So our business partner is named Gloria Bucata. She's a mother of 3, the oldest of which is on the right. Her name is Rejoice. The second is on the left. Her name is Victory. And the youngest of which in the Star-Spangled Pants is named Israel. He is sat there in the middle. So back to the career change, she was a former nurse working at the regional hospital around 10 years ago. During that time, she learned that she was going to be starting a family soon and decided it would be the best course of action for her to come home and prepare for that family. During that time, she developed a love for sewing and tailoring, and with some work and a little bit of effort, she became a self-taught seamstress. Now, with about a decade of experience, she wants to optimize and scale her brand and create a much larger business than it is right now. Her dream is to create a ready-to-wear fashion line out of her own fashion house in her hometown of Rath, Missouri. And in that fashion house, she wants to employ widows and young women in her community in an effort to empower them and give them an out to the cycle of poverty. So our mission as Team Steve Jobs is, first of all, we want to optimize her finances, make sure she's making smart spending habits, help her with budgeting and accounting and things like that. We want to help her obtain materials from the most reliable sources at the most fair prices. We want to help her acquire employees and apprentices to help her grow her business. We want to help create a larger profit margin for her to expand her current brand. And with that larger profit margin, hopefully we can bring that dream of creating a ready-to-wear line and fashion house a little bit closer for her. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to my colleague, Isabel Easton. She's going to explain some strengths and weaknesses. Isabel, you're on mute.
Thank you. In order to fully understand Ms. Bucata's business, let's take a look at her strengths and weaknesses, potential opportunities to grow, and external threats in her business. When initially learning about Ms. Bucata's business, several strengths immediately stood out to us. Ms. Bucata's tailoring is very high quality and is always delivered punctually. She also makes school uniforms and has 2 contracts with local schools in her area to exclusively tailor uniforms for them. Additionally, she has a loyal customer base and many of her customers have been coming to her for years. She's also highly motivated and confident in her abilities. With these strengths come certain weaknesses in Ms. Bucata's business. The first is that Gloria does not have internet access, which makes social media marketing and a direct line of communication with her customers nearly impossible. She also uses about 50% of her profit on other materials and expenses that she needs for her shop. We also noticed quite a few opportunities that show potential in growing Ms. Bucata's business. For example, taking measures to broaden Ms. Bucata's customer base will undoubtedly cause her business's profits and popularity to grow. Another is employing her 3 current apprentices into working for her shop full-time. Also, a key opportunity is devising a brand personality for GB Clothing so she can distinguish herself from other businesses in the area. Lastly, to use a catalog to keep track of all of her customers with a clear system of record keeping could greatly improve the organization of her business. Finally, there are a couple threats that come with the goal of elevating her business. The first is a lack of a set location. She is currently working from her home, and this creates many disadvantages as her home is not a suitable workplace for both her and her apprentices. With pricing, her prices are a little more on the expensive side, so some in her community of lower income might not be able to afford her garments. Additionally, there are many tailors in Ms. Bucata's area, creating additional competition for her. And lastly, with the emergence of COVID-19, many customers stopped coming to get their clothes tailored, which reduced Gloria's profits. Team Jobs and Ms. Bucata collaborated to pinpoint 4 main areas of improvement necessary for the growth and expansion of GB Clothing. The first is financial management. Ms. Bucata is looking to further her knowledge on how to properly track and account for her finances, as currently tracking her profits and expenses is difficult. The second is customer management. As I mentioned previously, Ms. Bucata has a very loyal customer base, and she remembers her most consistent customers by memory. This leaves it difficult to account for her less frequent customers, and this can push them away from her business. The third is resources. Ms. Bucata has limited resources, and she does not have a lot of the materials that is essential for a tailoring business. Allocating money for these necessary resources is critical to further improve her quality. And our final area of improvement is location. As mentioned previously, Ms. Bucata is working from home, which provides both financial disadvantages and limited marketing opportunities. She is currently unable to employ any of her apprentices, and this leaves limited amount of opportunities for the amount of orders she can take. This also makes advertising her business a struggle, as she's not in a populated area or marketplace, which is essential for a well-known business in her community. To resolve these issues presented, my teammate Urvi Dalla will now present a variety of solutions.
One of the areas of improvement Ms. Bucata would like to work on is financial management. Therefore, our first solution is to create an income statement template that would be an easy and accessible way for Ms. Bucata to track her expenses and stay organized. Additionally, we decided to create a fixed price range system. Another area of improvement is customer relationship management. Ms. Bucata values customer satisfaction. However, oftentimes, customers claim on agreeing on a different price and take advantage of her business. In order to avoid that issue, we have decided to produce a customer information booklet, which the marketing team, Team Carter, has created. We also created a fashion catalog to display the dress styles Ms. Bucata has to offer her customers. Lastly, we would like to provide a smartphone and internet access to Ms. Bucata so she can establish her own social media platform. As you can see here, the income statement template is organized for her to plan her projected income and expenses. We have allocated for housing as well as blank expenses table for her to include other items that need to be purchased. At the end of each month, she will be able to calculate her net profit and guarantee she does not exceed her set monthly spending of 35,000 Naira. As of now, Ms. Bucata estimates a price after looking at a style a client wants. This method may lead to additional losses. Therefore, the price ranges are for Ms. Bucata to secure profits even after a client has negotiated a lower price. When designing the catalog, we wanted to format it in a sophisticated style to match the quality of her products. We created a clean layout in order for her customers to easily identify the dress trends and styles Ms. Bucata can create. Here are some additional layouts of the fashion catalog filled with various designs and sets Ms. Bucata offers her customers. Establishing social media platforms for Ms. Bucata to grow her business is essential. With a smartphone, she can now create her own Instagram page to promote her designs and make use of analytical features, which I'll go over in the next slide. Similarly, Facebook is a great way to create a business profile and share her designs. In addition, Facebook reaches a larger Nigerian audience and a demographic closer to the age of her customers. Lastly, she can create a WhatsApp account to further build a customer relationship by immediately updating her customers on their dresses' progress. Here are some screenshots of analytics Instagram provides when switching to a business profile account. On the left is Post Insights, which provides data on your audience engagement on a certain post. This tool can be used to further understand the designs and trends that are most popular with your audience. The right two images provide data on her audience's activity, which can be used to determine the optimal day and time to post, as well as have a better understanding of her audience with data on their age, gender, and region. Now, Sean will be discussing additional business solutions for GB clothing design.
As for matters with ensuring a location for Ms. Bucata's business and acquiring materials that she needs to make her business blossom, we have lined out the following. First, we are looking towards renting a shop so that she may move her workspace out of her home. This may be well for her because it will not only provide her and her employees a better operation area, it will also better control the influx of customers coming in and out of her shop. We are also still considering the option of getting a shipping container, which is a secondary option, as the shipping container is not a part of our budget at this moment. Next, we have outlined the materials that she needs to formulate a well-oiled store and help her to tailor much easier. Some examples of these most important items are a power generator, a working table, visitors' chairs, and industrial sewing machine. So for our current budget, we are given a total grant of $1,400. Between Team Carter and Team Jaws, we decided to split it between 80 and 20, where we would receive $1,120 of the budget and Team Carter would receive $280 of the budget. With the expenses, we decided to split it up into three main categories. The biggest category below on the pie chart is the one-time expenses, which includes things like the generator, industrial sewing machine, working table, and visitors' chairs. The monthly expenses, which includes the shop rent, and the variable expenses, which includes the workshop accessories that Ms. Bucata and her apprentices will be using. Our total infrastructure spending right now is $1,119.59, which leaves us a total of 41 cents over. We've also received an extra $150 from the Carter team in case Gloria needs it. Let's recap our presentation. First, Alfonso talked about Ms. Bucata, a self-taught tailor who has a decade of experience in how she wants to open up her own shop. Isabel then described the areas we want to improve in the most. Then Irvi detailed the solutions for financial and customer relationships and showed the templates for an income statement, catalog designs, fixed prices, and the configuration of Ms. Bucata's social media. Finally, I discussed our resolutions for location and obtaining resources, as we are currently looking to rent a shop for, and we've also outlined the materials in our current budget according for fixed, monthly, and variable expenses. Thank you. Here's our contact information.
Fantastic, fantastic job, guys. Sean, it worked perfectly. You guys were all phenomenal. I'm going to add in the judges, and you guys can stop sharing the screen.
Hey, great job, guys.
Good job, guys. You killed it.
Okay.
Yeah, great
Okay.
job, guys.
Perfect. And then let's get Umar, are you in here? There we go. All right. So Ahmed, please tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, no, just like the previous teams, this guys, obviously it looks like they've put in a lot of thought and work into this. They've, the introduction, I always, enjoy to hear introductions about these things because, that's how you get the audience pulled into the process. So by starting with a great story always helps. I like the dreams. You mentioned this person's, her dream and, where she wants to see things go. You talked about you talked about dreams and then you talked about specific goals, right? So, dreams are one thing, but what are the goals? What do we need to do to get this person to the dream, to achieve those dreams? And you guys, listed out a number of goals that were really very clear and very direct. The SWOT analysis, you guys, you mentioned a lot of great things there. I did like, one of the things I noticed in the SWOT analysis that I thought was a great piece was in terms of growing her business was the school partnerships. If she's already making uniforms for 2 schools, that means there's something going on right? So how does she continue to expand on that? Because that's an easy way to keep building partnerships with even more schools, because I'm sure that's a lot of that's a lot that can come into her all at once. If she can get even one more school, and then do a great job at another one. So maybe part of the goal is how do I keep increasing the schools that I partner with so that I can show, obviously that requires more resources, more planning, and more probably staff. Yeah, a number of things that she could do. But I like the idea that you guys identified that as a strength, and how do we continue to work on that? The social media slide was great too. You guys mentioned a lot of really cool stuff: Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. That's a huge platform, especially for the tailoring business, fashion business in Nigeria. People will look at Instagram. They'll look at tailors and vendors and look through pictures and what people are wearing, things that she's done. So if she can really capitalize on building her social media presence, especially with things like Instagram, it's really easy to get to on the phone. You can communicate with people through that. That's one way she could do it. So the analytics piece was also really nice because I like that. It gave her something that potentially is a competitive advantage, the business account, so that she can really take advantage of the analytics. When do people look at it the most? What are people really looking at, and how do we get ahead of that? The budget piece was good too. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more detail on the budget, because you kind of piled everything into one piece. But if you could break it down a little bit, just to give people a sense of what those numbers and ideas look like. The SWOT analysis page, you guys had a lot of great information. My one comment is, from a visual standpoint, you had it all in white. It was a little bit hard to look at. It's a little thing, but darken it up a little bit so that when somebody is looking at it, they can really see it. Well, that's just from a presentation standpoint. But other than that, just like everybody, you guys did wonderful. Great job.
Awesome. Bill, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Hey, great. It's always hard following Ahmed because he says everything I'm going to say. And I love that beautiful leadership initiatives building behind you, Ahmed. You're supposed to be on mute. I'm not supposed to hear you laugh. I'm teasing. So I want to start out. Alfonso, great introduction. Like Ahmed said, you pulled us in. I really liked it, especially when we were talking about the career change and all that. All of us can relate to that at some point in time. And I raised my hand. You missed it. I don't know why you didn't see that, but I'm kidding. And what I liked is you introduced some of the problems and weaknesses in the SWOT analysis later in the introduction. Isabel, the SWOT analysis. I really liked your SWOT analysis. It was probably one of the best ones I've seen of all the presentations that I have ever judged here at Leadership Initiatives. And I knew the rest of the team had to help you with that, because I don't think you could do it all by yourself. At least I couldn't have done that by myself like that. So it was great. And what I liked best about the SWOT analysis, you not only talked about the weaknesses, you also talked about leveraging the opportunities. Okay? So it wasn't just the weaknesses, because everybody focuses on the weaknesses and they sometimes ignore the opportunities. Then, Irvi, I hope I said that right. You can shake your head up and down even if I didn't.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I'm a financial type, so I love the financial stuff. I love the financial statements and all that. I agree with Ahmed, though. I would love to have, I saw the budget format, which, to use and everything, and that was all great. I'm a CPA, so the more stuff you have on it, I would love seeing debits and credits. I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that. But I agree with Ahmed. I would love to have, and maybe this is between you and Sean or whatever, but to have seen how much money was going to be spent on which items, like how much money spent on sewing machines, how much money spent on the, I know it wasn't a container, but the rent, a more detailed breakout of that type of stuff. But I love the budget. And I love the social media thing. Ahmed, you stole my thunder on that one, so I'm not going to talk about that. Then Sean, a little problem with the video. And I know you talked about, the rents and the shops and the more space and all that type of stuff. And maybe that's where the spending of the money should have been. But what I really loved about all these presentations, and yours in particular, was where you talked about the other team and how much money you were going to spend and how much money they were going to spend, and the fact that you saved 41 cents. Remember, I'm a CPA, so that was good. And making sure you had the renting the space, the generators, the sewing machines. That was all good. Again, I just wish you'd seen the dollar breakout on it, and it was a good conclusion, Sean. In spite of the I know we had some problems with the connection there, but you just moved right on. You just plowed right through it, and that's what you're supposed to do. Good recovery on everything, okay? You didn't let it stop you and mess you up, okay? So good job. Overall, a great job by everybody. And I talked too long again, Marshall. So Umar, thank you for yielding more time.
Bill, when you talk like that, you can go over anytime you want. Umar, we would absolutely love to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so guys, you really did amazing because I was listening to your presentation, you know, point after point because it's really, really interesting. And the first thing, actually, I don't know, maybe it's not your team that actually make the logo, but it's really, really amazing. I love it. And the dress layout, it's also an amazing idea. So that's my first 2 points. And then one thing that actually made it very, very interesting is that for you guys to realize that working at for her to work at home, you know, excuse me, has so many disadvantages because she can actually bring people in to work with her, and customers don't feel comfortable like to go to your house. Sorry. That's what actually pushed you guys to get her a shop. And then by realizing that you also consider that even though she's working at home, she has like less expenses, but her price is on the high side, which is also affecting the business. So that's a very, very good point for you guys to identify. And I'm pretty much sure maybe you guys have advised her on what to do so that customers will feel comfortable and will find it very, very interesting to come and patronize her business. And then talking about the financial aspect of it is one of the biggest thing that I think it's keeping her business stranded because had it been all the work she's doing, she keep following up with her, keep tracking her finances and then thinking about the saving culture and other stuff that could have moved her to another level. And but you guys actually come to her rescue and putting all this package together to make sure that she has it right this time. It's really incredible, and I can tell you how this is going to be so huge for Gloria. And I know she's a very hardworking woman. By realizing that she's a nurse and she chooses to be a tailor now, so that's like two sides of a coin. So you can't imagine somebody being in the medical field and then turning into a teller. So, but that means there is something interesting about what she chooses to do. Um, but other than that, you guys have done really, really an incredible job, and I can't wait to see how far that can take Gloria in the future. So thank you so much for being awesome. I love everything about you guys, and I love your enthusiasm. Thank you.
Judges, thank you so much for your thoughts. College admissions officers, if you want to know more about any one of these students, all you have to do is go to the bottom of this YouTube video and their individual websites will be located there. You can see how each student contributed to the program and how they helped us get the grant ready to help shape this business. In addition to that, we will update their websites every 3 months so you can see how their ideas actually transform lives over multiple years. Please feel free to call
one more group.
Ahmed, yes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marshall. Sorry
Yep.
about that.
Nope. And so please go to the bottom. Our phone number is 202-738-1115. We would love to tell you about these amazing students. Thank you for watching this video.